Good morning, students. In the last class, we have completed a second chapter, that is Indian economy during 1950 to 1990. So today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 3, that is liberalization, privatization, and the globalization. After studying all these topics, we are able to understand what is economic reform, why there were need for the economic reform, what is new economic policy, under which we studied the liberalization. Under the that topic we will discuss about the industrial sector reform, financial sector reform, fiscal reform, foreign exchange reform, trade and investment policy reforms. And second is privatization, positive impact of privatization as well as negative impact of privatization. Third is globalization. Under the globalization, we will talk about the policy measures undertaken under globalization, positive impact of globalization, negative impact of globalization, what is outsourcing, and last is World Trade Organization, that is WTO. And next topic is an appraisal of the LPG policies. LPG means liberalization, privatization, and the globalization. Argument in favor of economic reform. And the last topic is what are the different limitations of the economic reform. So let's start. We studied in the previous chapter that India followed the mixed economy framework since independence. Okay, we have already studied about the India adopted a mixed economy under the industrial policy resolution 1948. India has adopted the mixed economy framework since independence. India was able to achieve growth in savings, developed a diversified industrial sector which produces a variety of goods, and experienced sustained expansion of agriculture output which ensured food security. Okay, India was able at that time to achieve the all the growth in the savings, that they are able to save their products as well as saving their income also. Developed a diversified industrial sector. There were also a development of the industrial sector under the IPR 1956, Indian Industrial Policy Resolution 1956, which produces a variety of goods and experience sustained expansion of the agriculture product output which ensured food security. Okay, in the under the IPR 1956, in that policy, India is able to produce a diversified product, different variety of products, and experienced expansion of the agriculture output also. They also able to expand their agriculture output, which ultimately secured our food security. Now we are able to food, and now we are not dependent on the other country for their foods. Okay, however, some scholars were of the view that the policy adopted prior to 1990, which aimed at controlling and regulating the economy, hampered the process of growth and development. Okay, there were some also scholars, they have told that the whatever the policy adopted the till 1990, we have already talked about the to 1950 to 1990, their basic aim was to control and regulate the economy. Only they do want some economics, and some scholars says that the policy which were adopted, the main aim was to control and regulate the economy, which ultimately obstacle and hampered stop the process of ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट. ओके, कुछ स्कॉलर्स थे जिन्होंने ऐसा बोला कि अगर जो भी इकॉनमी में हमने जो भी पॉलिसीज़ अडॉप्ट किए थे बिटवीन 1950 टू 1990, उनका बेसिक एम क्या हो गया था कि वो पूरे इकॉनमी को कंट्रोल और रेगुलेट कर रहे थे, जो अल्टीमेटली क्या कर रहा था, जो इकॉनमिक ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट का प्रोसेस है उसको एकदम ब्लॉक कर दिया था, स्टॉप कर दिया था. फॉर दैट देयर वर नो ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द इकॉनमी. In 1991, India met the economic crisis relating to its external debt, resulting in fall in foreign exchange reserve. Okay, in 1991, India was facing the economic crisis. That means India has taken too much loan debt from the international institution as well as some foreign countries, so that there were resulting in the fall in foreign exchange reserve. The foreign exchange currency was reserve or decline and fall. Ultimately it is the result of the whatever the country has taken the loan from the फ्रॉम दी अदर कंट्री. देखिए क्या हुआ 1991 में इंडिया क्या थी, एक इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस को फेस की. कैसी क्राइसिस थी कि इंडिया ने अपने डेवलपमेंट के टाइम डेवलपमेंट करने के लिए उसने क्या कर लिया था, बहुत सारा डेट एज वेल एज लोन क्या था फॉरेन कंट्रीज़ एज वेल एज इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन से ले लिया था, जिसका रिज़ल्ट ये हुआ कि जो भी उनके फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिज़र्व थे, डैट मीन्स जो फॉरेन करेंसीज़ का रिज़र्व वो लोग रखते थे. वी हैव ऑलरेडी टॉक अबाउट इन मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स दैट इज RBI डील्स विद द फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिज़र्व. ओके, तो क्या करता, तो वो सारे रिज़र्व भी क्या हो रहे थे, बहुत एक फॉरेन के साथ ट्रांजैक्शन करने के साथ वो रिज़र्व भी क्या हो रहे थे, फॉल हो रहे थे. The crisis was further compounded by rising price of the essential good. Ultimately, it leads to the rise in the prices of the all goods. That means there were inflation was came in the economy. Okay, क्या हो गया कि जो भी जब प्रोडक्शन हो नहीं रहा था तो क्या हुआ कि प्राइस क्या है कमोडिटी की बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज़ कर गई, एंड दैट लीड्स टू इन्फ्लेशन. ओके, all these led the government to introduce a new set of policy measures which change the direction of our development strategies. Okay, at this time all these drawbacks government has decided to take some new policies to overcome from the all these type of obstacle as well as the problems. So in this chapter we will study about the economic reform since 1991. Okay, now we are going to start a new topic, that is economic reform since 1991. What were the economic reform till 1991? So economic reform, that is new economic policy 1991. Economic policy adopted by the government of India since 1991 is known as new economic policy. Okay, there were economic policy adopted by the government of India in 1991. It is called the new economic policy. Okay, under the government there were the prime minister were the PV Narasimha Rao, and the finance minister is Dr. Manmohan Singh at that time. Okay, the policies, the economic policy prior to 1991 could not achieve the desired rate of economic growth. Okay, whatever the policies which have been made before the 1991, they were not in condition to have the desired rate of economic growth. Okay, जो भी 1991 के पहले जितनी भी economic policies बनी, they were not too much strong that leads to the developed economic growth. वो क्या थे कि कोई ऐसी इकॉनमी नहीं, कोई भी ऐसे पॉलिसीज़ को नहीं लिया गया जो क्या हो कि एक अच्छा, एक स्ट्रॉन्ग और एक डेवलप्ड इकॉनमी को शो करे. टू ओवरकम इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस एंड एक्सीलरेट द ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ इंडियन इकॉनमी, न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन July 1991. Okay, to overcome from all the economic crises whatever the country has were facing, and accelerate the growth of the economy, there were new economic policy was introduced in July 1991. Okay, तो जो भी इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस थी इंडिया में, जो इंडिया सफ़र कर रही थी, और उन सारी क्राइसिस से ओवरकम करने के लिए एज वेल एज इकॉनमी का जो ग्रोथ है उसको इंक्रीज़ करने के लिए, एक्सीलरेट करने के लिए न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी was adopted in July 1991. Okay, why there were now the next question is why there were need for economic reform, why we have needed. So to overcome economic crisis, the economic policy was required. Okay, so when we have to come from the some crisis, we have to take some preventive measures to take from to come from the all the problems. So in that to all from the economic reforms, all the economic crisis, there should be need to the economic policy कि हमें क्या था कि उन सारी इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस की से ओवरकम करने के लिए एक इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी, न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी के रिक्वायरमेंट थी. फॉलोइंग आर द सर्टेन रीज़न विच अराउज द नीड फॉर मेकिंग इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म इन द कंट्री. ओके, देयर वर सम रीज़न दैट लीड्स टू द नीड फॉर द इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म. कि बहुत सारे ऐसे रीज़न्स थे जिनकी वजह से हमको क्या होना पड़ा, न्यू इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म कंट्री में इंट्रोड्यूस करना पड़ा. Next is physical deficit. Yes, physical deficit is the difference. The first is why there were need of the economic reform. The first reason is physical deficit. Okay, physical deficit is the difference between the government expenditure and the government revenue. Okay, the term is physical deficit. It is the difference between the government expenditure and the government revenue. Okay, क्या होता है ये फिजिकल डेफिसिट? मीन्स कि whenever the expenditure of the government is greater than the government revenue. Okay, जब गवर्नमेंट का जो एक्सपेंडिचर होता है वो रेवेन्यू के कंपैरेटिवली ज़्यादा हो जाता है, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड फिजिकल डेफिसिट. इट इज़ फाइनेंस्ड बाय रेजिंग लोन. इफ़ गवर्नमेंट वांट टू फाइनेंस्ड इट शुड बी टेकन दी लोन. ओके, अभी क्या है, अगर किसी भी इकॉनमी में, इंडिया की इकॉनमी में अगर हम देख रहे हैं कि एक्सपेंडिचर क्या हो गया है, एक्सपेंडिचर इज़ मोर देन दी revenue, so government have to take in the some finance, some money from the other sources, from the RBI as well as some foreign sources. okay, तो गवर्नमेंट को क्या करना पड़ेगा, अगर उसको सारा जो भी फिजिकल डेफिसिट की प्रॉब्लम है उसको कवर अप करना पड़ेगा, तो इस सिचुएशन में कंट्री को क्या करना पड़ेगा, लोन लेना पड़ेगा. वो लोन कहाँ से भी ले सकता है, या तो अपनी कंट्री में ही कहीं से ले सकता है, फ्रॉम RBI, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, और फ्रॉम दी अदर फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन and other foreign sources. Means कि different World Bank, IMF, these or all are the international institution. They also give the loans. Okay, the loan from bank, public and international financial institutions. Okay, next is prior to 1991 physical deficit of the government increased too much. Okay, when we talk about the before 91 the fiscal deficit of the government is become too much. That means government expenditure is more than the government revenue because of increase in non-development expenditure. Because a government expend their income, expend their money on the non-developmental expenditure. For example, expenditure on the administration as well as the non-plan expenditure is expenditure incurred by help flood victim. Okay, before 1991 India has suffered from the lots of the natural calamities. For that purpose government have to take some expenditure that is non-developmental as well as non-plan expenditure. For that it is resulting the फिजिकल डेफिसिट. ओके, 1991 के पहले क्या हुआ, इंडिया को बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब बहुत सारे नेचुरल कैलामिटीज़ को फेस करना पड़ा, जिसकी वजह से गवर्नमेंट को क्या करना पड़ा, बहुत सारे एक्सपेंडिचर करने पड़े. दीज ऑल आर दी नॉन प्लान, कि गवर्नमेंट ने इसकी कोई प्लानिंग नहीं की थी, स्टिल क्या हो गया, गवर्नमेंट का एक्सपेंडिचर हो गया. फॉर एग्जांपल ऑल दी फ्लड विक्टिम्स, अर्थक्वेक विक्टिम्स. For that purpose government has the too much expenditure. For that before 1991 the fiscal deficit of the government is increased. Development policies required the government to increase its revenue to meet challenges like unemployment, poverty, population explosion. Okay, the government should have to take some development policies so that the government to increase its revenue, so that government take the revenue, increase the revenue to meet the challenges. These are some challenges the government has facing were facing, that is unemployment, poverty, population एक्सप्लोजन. ओके, गवर्नमेंट को क्या था, डेवलपमेंट पॉलिसी गवर्नमेंट को क्या करना था, लेनी चाहिए थी उस सिचुएशन में, सो दैट रिक्वायर्ड द गवर्नमेंट टू इंक्रीज इट्स रेवेन्यू. कि रेवेन्यू अगर गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी, गवर्नमेंट का उस टाइम क्या था, एक्सपेंडिचर बहुत ज़्यादा हो जा रहा था, तो कुछ डेवलपमेंटल एक्टिविटीज़ करके गवर्नमेंट को अपनी रेवेन्यू इंक्रीज़ करनी थी, सो डैट जो भी और भी प्रॉब्लम सफ़र कर रही है, जो चैलेंजेस हैं, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, पॉवर्टी, पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन, उसको क्या कर सके, वो उन सारे चैलेंजेस को फेस कर सके और इन सारी प्रॉब्लम्स को वो मतलब बाहर कर सके. The continued spending on the development program did not generate additional revenue. Revenue from taxation was also low. Okay, government continuing expending their money for the developmental program, but they do not get the best result, so that the revenue of the government will also increase. But that at that time the government, all the developmental policies were not so much effective, that ultimately it lead the revenue. For that revenue which were increased from the taxation, the taxation rate were also very low, so the government revenue is not increasing. Because of that, the expenditure of the government is more than the income of the government. It ultimately leads the fiscal deficit. It is the one of the reason for the economic reform. Government expenditure on areas such as social sector, defense had to be planned in more efficient manner. Okay, the expenditure of the government basically on the social sector, means health, education, and the defense, they should be properly planned, so that they work in the more efficient manner. The income from the public sector undertaking was not very high to meet the growing expenditure. Okay, the income is from the public sector undertaking, means from the public companies, it is not so much, so that they can meet the all the expenditure. Okay, जो भी इनकम मिल रही थी पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट से, पब्लिक कंपनी से, इट इज़ नॉट ऑल्सो टू मच हाई, वो भी इतना ज़्यादा नहीं होती थी कि जो भी एक्सपेंडिचर है उसको क्या कर सके, कवर अप कर सके. Due to persistent rise in fiscal deficit, there was corresponding rise in public debt. Okay, it was the fiscal deficit of the government is continuously rising, so that the public debt, means public loan of the government is also rises, and liability to make interest payment, and there were too much liability of the government is also increases with the payment to the others, like foreign institution they have to pay, so that it were also increases too much. Indian economy was in debt trap. Okay, now the Indian economy was in debt trap, मीन्स कि अभी इकॉनमी क्या थी, वो ट्रैप में, डेट के ट्रैप में एकदम फंस चुकी थी. दे हैव टू पे दी ऑल दी डेट एज वेल एज दी इंटरेस्ट ऑन दी all the loans which they have taken from the other institution. In 1991, the amount of interest liability increased to 36.4% of GDP. Okay, the amount of interest liability, the government have to provide or give the all the interest, which is increased up to the 36.4%. Now the second reason for the new economic reform or new economic policy was the adverse balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment is the difference between the inflow of foreign exchange and outflow of foreign exchange. Okay, what is balance of payment? Balance of payment is the whatever the it is the difference between the whatever the other currencies coming in our country, and the our currency is going to the other country. Okay, कि बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट क्या होता है, कि ये डिफरेंस होता है किसका, कि इनफ्लो कितना हमारी कंट्री में फॉरेन करेंसीज आ रही हैं और कितना फॉरेन करेंसीज हमारी कंट्री से जा रही हैं। इन दोनों के अगर डिफरेंस को निकालते हैं देन वी विल गेट दी बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट फॉर एवरी country. It is the best situation when the inflow of the foreign exchange is greater than the आउटफ्लो ऑफ द फॉरेन एक्सचेंज. अगर हमारी कंट्री में इनफ्लो क्या होगा, मनी का इनफ्लो दूसरी कंट्रीज़ के जो करेंसीज हैं वो अगर ज़्यादा आएंगे तो वो क्या होगा, बेटर कंडीशन होगा एज़ कम्पेरिजन टू हमारी करेंसी क्या होगी, वो बाहर जाएगी. सो balance of payment is the difference between the inflow of foreign exchange and the outflow of the foreign exchange. When outflow of the foreign exchange is more than the inflow of foreign exchange, balance of payment become adverse. Okay, अभी क्या मैंने बोला कि अगर हमारा क्या है इनफ्लो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज का क्या होगा, हमारी हम क्या करें, अगर वेन एवर वी डू एक्सपोर्ट वी विल गेट द फॉरेन करेंसी, सो इट इज़ the best condition. And when we import some good, then our currency is going outside the country, so it is the adverse situation for our country. So that if the outflow of the foreign exchange is more than the inflow of the foreign exchange, that means a balance of payment is the adverse. Before 1991, export were less due to poor quality of domestic goods, and import were despite of heavy tariff and quotas. Okay, we have already talked about in the second chapter that the export of the country till 1980 it was very low because we do not producing such kind of product which will can compete with the अदर कंट्रीज़. ओके, हम लोग ऐसे गुड्स का प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर रहे थे कि जो अदर कंट्री के साथ क्या कर का कंपटीशन कर पाएगा, इसलिए हमारा जो एक्सपोर्ट था, एक्सपोर्ट वाज nil and import were more despite of heavy tariff and quotas. Okay, we are importing goods and more, so because of despite of heavy tariff we are imposing heavy tariff as well as quotas. Despite of all that, import were also increasing, so that it means outflow of our country, outflow of the foreign exchange is more than the inflow of the foreign exchange. It means import is greater than export. This is the condition of adverse balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment increased from 2214 crore in 1982-81 to 17,367 crore in 1992-1991. Okay, let's see the difference between the adverse balance of payment. Outflow of our country is 2214 in 80-81, but it increases up to the 17,367 crore in 1990-1991. These are the reason why we have to adopt the new economic policy. Third is fall in foreign exchange reserve. Okay, these are the reserve of the foreign assets like foreign currency, foreign security. We have already know foreign securities and foreign exchange reserve are the we reserve some foreign currencies as well as the foreign securities also in our country. Foreign exchange reserve are extensively used to meet consumption requirement and development project. Okay, we foreign exchange reserve basically used for the to meet the consumption expenditure and the developmental project. What we do, some developmental project, developmental expenditure, at that situation we use the foreign exchange reserves. Nothing much was done to reduce such profligate spending, nor sufficient attention was given to boost export to pay for the growing import. Okay, nothing was done to reduce the profligate. Profligate means wasteful spending. Wasteful mean extravagantly, मतलब हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है तो भी हम क्या कर रहे थे, बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेंड कर रहे थे. ओके, नथिंग मच वॉज डन टू reduce the profligate spending. Okay, the country was nothing doing something for the to reduce the wasteful spending, wasteful expenditure, nor sufficient attention was given to boost export. Okay, or there were also not given more attention to increase the export, to boost up the export, to pay the growing import, to pay the growing. We are more and more importing the goods, and very less or nil amount of goods are exporting from our country, resulting in adverse balance of payment. For this, there is adverse balance of payment. Okay, more and more import and less amount of export, it ultimately leads to the outflow of foreign exchange is more than the inflow of the foreign exchange, so that it result the adverse balance of payment. Next, foreign exchange reserve declined to a level that was not adequate to finance import for more than 2 weeks. Okay, जो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व थे ये डिक्लाइन हो, इट वर डिक्लाइनिंग सो मच सो दैट वी कांट फाइनेंस इम्पोर्ट फॉर मोर देन 2 वीक्स. हम 2 वीक से ज़्यादा जो भी इम्पोर्ट हो रहे हैं गुड्स को इम्पोर्ट करने के बाद जो हमें पेमेंट करनी है वो 2 वीक से ज़्यादा भी नहीं चल पाते, क्योंकि हमारे पास एडिक्वेट फाइनेंशियल एक्सचेंज रिजर्व बचे ही नहीं थे. देयर वर ऑल्सो नॉट सफिशिएंट फॉरेन एक्सचेंज टू पे द इंटरेस्ट ऑन इंटरनेशनल मनी लेंडर्स. ओके, देयर वर ऑल्सो नॉट so much amount of foreign exchange so that we can lend all the money to the foreign money lenders from where we have taken the money loan. Now we are not sufficient amount of funds so that we can paid all the amount all as a interest to the international money lenders. Also, no country or international funder was willing to lend to India, and this condition was also comprises in the economy that now no country were interested to invest in the economy of the India. Okay, foreign exchange reserve reduced to nearly 6,000 crore in 1990-91 from nearly 8,200 crore in 1980-81. Okay, see the difference that the foreign exchange reserve is reducing. In 1990 to 1991 it was 6,000 crore, but it increases the in the 1980-81 it was 8,200, but in 1991 to 1991 it decreases up to the 6,000. So it is the declinement of the foreign exchange reserve. It is reducing from 1880 to 1991. It was just 8,200 in 1880 to 81, and now it was decreasing in 1990 to 1991, that is 6,000 crore. Okay, the next need for economic reform is rise in prices, that is inflation. Okay, inflation is a consistent rise in general price level due to shortage of the aggregate supply. Okay, inflation is simply means there is consistent rise in prices of the commodity due to shortage of the aggregate supply. The aggregate demand of the any good is increased and the aggregate supply of the any good is declining, so that there is shortage of the aggregate supply, and ultimately it lead to the consistent rise in prices. इसमें क्या होता है, इन्फ्लेशन का मीन्स क्या हुआ कि किसी भी कमोडिटी की क्या है प्राइस क्या है कंसिस्टेंटली क्या है इंक्रीज़ होती जा रही है, बिकॉज ऑफ कि यहाँ पे क्या है सप्लाई की शॉर्टेज हो गई है. शॉर्टेज सप्लाई की कैसे हो गई कि जो डिमांड है वो क्या हो गया, लोगों का ज़्यादा हो गया है एज़ कंपेरिजन टू सप्लाई. तो जब कोई कमोडिटी कम होगी और उसकी डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा होगी तो कोई भी कमोडिटी की क्या होगी, प्रोड्यूसर क्या करेगा, उसकी प्राइस को इंक्रीज़ कर देगा. उस प्राइस को इंक्रीज़ होने का मतलब है कि देयर इज़ कंसिस्टेंट राइज इन प्राइसेस, इट इज़ कॉल्ड इन्फ्लेशन. उसकी वजह से क्या होगा, इकॉनमी में इन्फ्लेशन की सिचुएशन होगी. इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस वॉज फर्दर कंपाउंडेड बाय द राइजिंग प्राइस ऑफ द इसेंशियल गुड प्रायर टू 1991. Okay, there were also consistent rise in prices of all the essential goods. Essential goods means which we use in daily purpose. Daily के लिए हमें जो भी essential goods की ज़रूरत होती, these all are the essential goods. So one of the major reason of inflation was deficit financing. Deficit financing means government take the loan from the Reserve Bank of India to meet its deficit. Okay, what the government take the loan from the Reserve Bank of India to meet its deficit, and government and the Reserve Bank of India, what they will do, they issue a new currency so that they can provide the money to the government and they can meet its deficit. Okay, क्या होता है डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग? डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग का मतलब ये होता है कि जो आरबीआई है, दैट मीन्स सेंट्रल बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, क्या करती है, फंड प्रोवाइड करती है किसको, गवर्नमेंट को, सो दैट गवर्नमेंट विल एबल टू मीट्स इट डेफिसिट, जो उसकी डेफिसिट हो रही है उसको वो क्या कर सके, सारे को रिड्यूस कर सके। इसलिए जो भी रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया है वो क्या करती है, न्यू करेंसीज़ को इशू करती रहती है, और न्यू करेंसी को इशू करेगी एंड देन प्रोवाइड टू दी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द इंडिया। ओके, बोरोइंग बाय द गवर्नमेंट फ्रॉम आरबीआई टू मीट इट डेफिसिट। ओके, वी टोल्ड अबाउट दैट कि अभी क्या करती है जो गवर्नमेंट है वो क्या करेगी, गवर्नमेंट बोरो करेगी फ्रॉम द आरबीआई टू मीट इट्स डेफिसिट। Deficit financing leads to more money supply in the economy, which increases the level of aggregate demand, and if aggregate supply cannot increase at the same rate, prices are bound to be rise. Okay, we have know that the definite deficit financing means there were the Reserve Bank of India is issuing more and more currency, that ultimately leads to the more money supply in the economy. When there is more money supply in the economy, which increases the level of aggregate demand, it will also increases the level of aggregate demand. When more and more currency is issuing in the economy, people will able to doing more and more activity, they have more and more money, then the aggregate demand of the person will increase. But if the aggregate supply of the commodity will not increase, it will ultimately rise the price of the goods and it leads to the inflation in the economy. The rate of inflation was 16.7% in 1990 to 91. Such a high rate reduced the demand of the Indian goods in domestic and foreign market. Okay, the rate of inflation in 1919 to 1991 was 16.7%. It ultimately result in there were declinement in the goods of the Indian domestic market as well as in the foreign market. Also, nobody want to spend their money on the Indian goods, and foreign market also doesn't want to purchase those commodity also. Okay. In all the there are some others economic reason for the economic reform, so we will